Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Jonna and I am the owner of Blue Coach Travel. And today we're going to talk about how to have a successful start to your cruise vacation. So you have your cruise booked and so excited to go on that cruise vacation. What do you do next? Well, the first thing you should do is make sure that you know what travel documents you need and that you make sure that those are up to date. So making sure that you go on the cruise line website to see what is required. Also, the airline, you got to get to that cruise port unless you're driving. You probably most likely a lot of people are going to fly, and you want to make sure that that you can get on that airplane. So checking the TSA website to make sure that you have the correct and proper documents to get on the flight, and then the cruise line getting those proper documents to get on that cruise. Now, the second thing you want to do after you've got that all in order and you are good to go is check for different activities or packages that you might want to purchase. So, there's going to be shore excursions that are available. There's going to be beverage and dining packages. And taking a look at those, picking out the ones that you want, and most importantly, if you can, purchase those. The sooner that you purchase those close to your booking time is probably going to be the cheapest. It's definitely going to be cheaper if you purchase those items before you go on the cruise rather than when you get on the ship. And when you get on the ship, that is when those things are going to be the most expensive. And the other reason that you want to book those quickly is because of limited space. Some of those shore excursions, they only have so much space that is available. So you want to make sure that you get those. I can think of a time we were going to a private island, and it was a group of us. I think there was 8 of us all together. And one of the things that we thought was really cool was you could rent these private, like, cabana type things. And we looked at them and, we thought about it. It was a little pricier. The price overall was larger, but per couple, it wouldn't have been quite so bad. But we waited too long. They were snap dried up, and we did not get to do that, which I think would have really made that day at the private island even more special. Now, once you have all of your documents in order, you have all those short excursions done, beverage package, dining package that you want booked and paid for, the next thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you do that online check-in. Now, you should get some sort of notification letting you know it's time to go ahead and do that. And you want to make sure you get that done pretty quickly. One of the biggest reasons to get that done quickly is so that you get that check-in time reservation the best that you can possibly get. And by the best, I mean the soonest, the earliest. The earliest check-in time is the best. Back in the day, you used to be able to just go to the ship and get in line to board. But that's not the case anymore. And instead, you need to make reservations for a check-in time ahead of time. And the sooner you do that, the better your check-in time is going to be. Now, while you're in there, you also want to print out your documents that you're going to need to get on the ship, as well as your luggage tags. And you want to, think of that ahead of time. Make sure you have a printer. If you don't have a printer, is there somewhere you can that you can go to be able to print these documents out, because you will need them to get on the ship. And one other thing that you might want to do is also have an electronic copy of everything. So your personal identification documents, and also those cruise documents, take pictures of those, keep those electronically in your phone, so you have that backup. But you do want to make sure that you have those actual original copies. Sure you have those documents available and handy and ready to go. Now that you have all those documents ready, you also want to make sure that you download the cruise line's app. So each cruise line will have an app, and it's used for various different reasons. So this, if you've been on cruises before, it's been a long time. You used to get those paper copies of what's going on for the day. You can still get those, but they're also available in the app. And really, on embarkation day, one of the most important things that you're going to do is going to be in that app, which we'll talk about in a minute. So you want to make sure that you download that app before you get, to the cruise ship, to make sure that you have reliable, good internet, and you're able to download that and be ready to go. So you've done all that prep work. Now it's time to go on vacation. So one thing that I definitely suggest doing is not arriving the day of your cruise. So many things can happen. You want to arrive at least a day ahead. Some people do 2 days ahead if you can. You want to make sure you do that because you don't know what's going to happen. Airline delays can happen, weather can happen, just a variety of different things. We have gone on many, many cruises and have always followed that advice of going in the day before. One time we decided that we were going to go in the day of, because of flights and everything. That's just how it worked out. And we did have a weather delay, and we had a connecting flight, and we missed that connecting flight, and so did a lot of other people. So once we got to that airport, we had to stand in line to wait to see if we could get on another flight. We finally did. We just made it. We made it to our destination. We got on the ship, but my luggage did not make it. So, and I had everything in that luggage. It was my checked bag, and literally everything was in there. Needless to say, I pack a lot differently now. But also, I don't go the day of a cruise anymore. So don't make that mistake, and make sure that you go at least a day ahead of time. That way, the next day when it's cruise day, when it's boarding day, you're ready to get on the ship. You can get up. You're not rushing around. You're not getting up at 4:00 in the morning or 3:00 in the morning to try to catch, a 6:00 flight. You have that time to sleep in a little bit, and maybe get some breakfast, and make your way to the cruise port. So now we've made it to boarding day. First thing you want to do is you've made that time ahead of that reservation, or excuse me, that check-in time, way back a couple of steps ago. So you want to make sure that you don't arrive too early or too late. You're going to be very excited to be on that ship. You've come in the day before, so you've had plenty of time to get to the cruise port that morning. But you don't want to arrive too early, because what's going to happen most likely is that you will be sitting in the cruise port terminal waiting to get on the ship. And there's not a lot to do in the cruise port terminal. In fact, there's really nothing to do unless you brought it yourself. So don't make that mistake. But then don't wait too long to get on the ship. the ship leaves at a certain time, and it is going to leave whether you are on it or not. So make sure that you arrive when you're supposed to, when you've registered for, and you will have a nice embarkation day and start to your cruise. One of the biggest tips, I've talked about packing a little bit and kind of what I've learned on the mistakes of packing. But those personal and those travel documents that we talked about at the beginning of this video, where we're going to make sure that we have everything, that it's up to date. Well, you want to make sure that you have that in your personal item bag that you are going to carry on with you onto the ship. Because when you arrive at the port, the first thing that's going to happen is you are going to run into some porters that are going to take your luggage, and they are going to deliver it to your, it's going to eventually get delivered to your stateroom. That could be hours before that happens. You are going to drop off your luggage with your luggage tags that you've printed off earlier, and you're not going to see that luggage for hours. So keep that in mind when you are packing up that personal bag, and make sure that you have, I would suggest having a folder with those paper documents, with your boarding document, with your identification, everything included in there, and have it in one place that it's easy to get to. And make sure that you are carrying that with you onto the ship. Do not give that to the porters, because anything you give to the porters, you are not going to see for hours, maybe even into the evening. So, keep that in mind. Not only those very important documents, but so think of those things that you're going to want to do on your first few hours on the ship. Do you want to go to the pool? Make sure that you have a swimsuit packed in there, maybe a cover up, some sunscreen is in your personal bag. Also, maybe you want to have something to change into for evening, going to dinner. And, maybe you want to have, some of those personal hygiene items, some deodorant, some toothpaste, a toothbrush, makeup, brush, things that you might need, to get ready for dinner. So just keep that personal item. Don't overpack it, but make sure that you have everything that you need. So that just in case you don't get your luggage until later in the evening. Now you've gone through the boarding process and you are on the ship. What is the first thing that you do? And that would be to complete your safety briefing. In years past, you would have to, at a certain time, you would have to go to your muster station, and we even had to put on our life jackets way back in the day, and that you would have to go through that safety briefing all is in one big group, whatever you're in your muster station, wherever that might be. Since 2020, that has changed considerably. It's much, much easier to complete your safety briefing. You can often even do it using your phone and that cruise app that you've downloaded already. So make sure you get that done. You might need to check in somewhere into your muster station so you know where that is. So make sure you get that done and out of the way so you can go about enjoying your cruise. Now, a couple of other things that you might want to get done on that first day of your cruise, or on embarkation day. If you do have little ones, you might want to go to the kid club and get them signed up for any time slots or anything that they might need. And also, it's an opportunity for you and for them to get to know the staff and maybe some other kids that are going to be there. So that might be something that you want to get done right away. And also, some cruise lines, you might be able to make some of those specialty dining reservations if you haven't been able to do that already, so that you can get those time slots and dates that you want. And once you're done with all of those things, then it is time to explore, get something to eat, and just start having fun. So I know everything we've talked about today seems like a lot of information. And we realize, especially for our first time cruisers, this can be very overwhelming. And that's where we at Blue Coach Travel can come in and help you out. We would be happy to plan your next cruise vacation and love the opportunity to speak with you. Down in the description box below, there is a link to schedule a complimentary consultation. During that consultation, we'll get to know, kind of what you want, maybe talk about different cruise lines, and come up with the best vacation possible to fit your needs and your family's needs. So we look forward to hearing from you soon, and have a great day. Bye, everyone.